How to update existing contact in Zoho CRM from Google Form submission. So whenever a new person will submit our Google form, our automation is going to search that person, search that contact in Zoho CRM. If that person already exists, it is going to simply update that contact with the new information. But if that person does not exist already, it is going to simply add a new contact in our Zoho CRM. And doesn't matter whether the source is Google Form or any other form builder software, by the end of this video you will be able to learn how to add new contact or how to update the existing contact in Zoho CRM. Want to learn how you can also do that? Come with me and I will show you everything step by step. So this is the form I have created using Google Forms, and this is the Zoho CRM dashboard. And in order to automate this process, firstly I'll have to build a connection, build an integration in these two applications, which I will do with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing integration and automation software. Yes, using this software I am going to connect to these applications and automate my tasks. I am an existing user of Pabbly Connect, so that is why I'm already logged in here. You can create your free account in Pabbly Connect in just 2 minutes from this sign a free button, and in the free account you will also get free tasks to test these kind of amazing automation. Now once you will log in and reach out to the dashboard of Pabbly Connect, click on this blue button that is create workflow, and then provide a random name to your workflow to your automation. Okay, so I have directly pasted the name as update existing contact in Zoho CRM from Google Form submission. Now it is asking to select the folder, so I am selecting this main workflow folder. Now clicking on create, and after that you will find two boxes. So these boxes are called as trigger and action, and here the trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So whenever something happen in your first application, then automatically do this in your next application. Okay, so this is how you need to always choose your applications in this trigger and the action window in which you are building an automation. Okay, so according to our use case, I want that whenever any new form is submitted via Google Forms, then automatically update that contact in Zoho CRM. Okay, so according to my use case, I have selected my trigger application, but currently I'm not selecting any action application. Now why I am doing this, I will explain you this later. Okay, and now the idea here is we will be connecting this Google Forms with the Pabbly Connect so that we can capture the form submission data here. Okay, so selecting the trigger event, that is new response received, and as soon as I do that, you will notice a webhook URL and few set of instructions. Okay, so you will have to follow these instructions carefully, and in order to build a connection in Google Forms and Pabbly Connect, I am going to make use of the spreadsheet which is associated with this particular form. Okay, clicking on this view in sheet, and now I am going to copy this webhook URL and paste in that sheet only, and in this way the connection will be made. Okay, give me a second, I'll show you everything step by step. Let me maximize it so that you can see the data very clearly. Okay, once the sheet is open, simply copy this webhook URL and click on extension, click on add-ons, click on get add-ons, and search for the Pabbly Connect webhooks add-on here. Alright, so I am also searching for the same, that is Pabbly Connect webhooks. You will notice that this add-on is already installed in my account because I have already created several automation. Okay, but if you are a new user, you will have to firstly install this add-on, because after that you will have to open the same add-on from here. Yes, click on this extension, and after installing this add-on you will find the same add-on here. Simply click on this initial setup, and here exactly we need to paste the same webhook URL which we have got via Pabbly Connect. Once again I have copied the same, let me paste the same, but before that I am going to remove the existing data. Okay, so I have pasted the same webhook URL, and now it is asking to select the trigger column. Okay, so read the instructions. The trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row data will be sent to the webhook URL. Okay, so basically it is asking to specify a column name on the filling of which this automation should trigger. Okay, so currently I have the last data entry column as F, so how about I do the same, clicking on send test, and you will notice that it will say no data found in row 2, because yes, we have not done any form submission, and that is why our spreadsheet is blank. Okay, so coming back to the dashboard of Pabbly Connect, and first I would advise you to read the instructions. It is actually waiting for the webhook response, and it is saying now log into the application where you have added the webhook URL and do a test submission record so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. Okay, so basically it is asking to do our test submission or record, and of course here the test submission means creation of a new response via this form. Okay, so let me open this form, and firstly I am going to make a dummy submission and then I am going to follow the same process. Okay, so I am going to fill this form as a dummy user only. So how about I provide the name demo as the first name, user as the last name, and then demo user at pabblytudes.com as the email address, and further I'm going to provide the phone number something like 95555 and then further 55555. Okay, so I have added all the dummy details, asking to select the place you would like to travel. So selecting this Shimla and Manali, clicking on submit, and as soon as I do that, the data will be collected here. Here you can notice every data has been captured in this spreadsheet. Okay, once again I'm going to copy this webhook URL and set up here, basically opening this Pabbly Connect webhook down, clicking on this initial setup, and once again I'm going to paste the same webhook URL, and as a trigger column I will add this F, clicking on send test button, and as soon as I do that, you will notice that the webhook response, basically the same form responses will be received here. Let me even show you the data one by one. Okay, so this is the same dummy email address, that is demo user at pabblytudes.com. Here we have the same trigger column. Here we also have the spreadsheet name, the sheet name, we also have the sheet ID, the row index, the place you would like to travel, even the phone number, last name and full name. Okay, so the presence of this data clearly shows that the connection in between Pabbly Connect and Google Form is working absolutely fine. Okay, so let me first close this window. Okay, clicking on this submit button, then going to close this box. Now onwards, what will happen, every time someone will submit this form, the details will be added in this spreadsheet and the same data will be sent to Pabbly Connect automatically. But for that you will have to enable one more very important setting, that is send on event. Yes, if you will click on this particular option, this tick mark will be added, which will ensure that every time a new data is added in this spreadsheet, it will send to Pabbly Connect automatically. Okay, and here I would like to tell you one more very important thing. Whenever you are connecting your Google Forms or Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect, so either you work into the incognito window or multiple Gmail accounts should not be logged in the same tab. I'm repeating this thing once again, either work in the incognito window or multiple Gmail accounts should not be logged in. Okay, so in this way the first step of our automation is done. Now moving further, first of all I'm going to check whether this particular person is already exist or not in my Zoho CRM. If the person already exists, I'm going to simply update the data, but if the person does not exist, I'm going to add a new contact in Zoho CRM. How we can do that? Well, in this choose application you will have to search for the Zoho CRM only. Alright, so I have selected the same. Now in the action event I will be selecting search a contact, because yes, I want to perform the same search contact by email. So I have added the same, clicking on connect, then clicking on add a new connection, then click on this button, and then it is going to ask you the domain. So we have the domain as zoho.in. so let me copy the same and paste here, and it is going to ask you the access of your Zoho CRM account if you are not logged in the different tab. Okay, in my case I am already logged in, so it is simply asking me for the permission. So I have clicked on accept, and in this way the authorization will be successful and Zoho CRM will be immediately connected with the Pabbly Connect. And now it is asking for the email address which you would like to search in Zoho CRM. Okay, so the interesting thing here is I am not going to manually copy this email address and paste below again and again for every new form submission. I am going to map this email address so that this email address will be changed automatically whenever our automation will work in real time. And mapping is very simple. Click on this field and you will find the same data, the above data here in the drop down. Select that data and in this way it will be mapped. Okay, so I'm going to click on this button, but before that, how about we check whether this person is already exist in our Zoho CRM or not. Okay, so clicking on this contact section, and we have the email address as demoUser@pabblytudes.com, and here also you can notice demoUser@pabblytudes.com. so basically this person is already available in my Zoho Zoho account, so I'm expecting a positive response. So clicking on this button, save and send test request, and waiting for the response to receive. And here you can notice the response is received, and that response consists of the email address, the same email address. That means this person already exists according to our automation also. Okay, so in this way the second step of our automation is done. Now let me show you that case also where the same person does not exist already in our Zoho CRM. So this time I'm going to add some random email, something like xyz@gmail.com. okay, now clicking on this button, save and send test request once again, and waiting for the response. And this time you will notice that response will be a blank, or it is saying HTTP status code as 204. okay, so in this way different responses will be received based on this particular email ID. If ID does not exist, this kind of response will be received, but if that ID already exists, okay, let me map it once again, then a positive response will be received along with the same email ID. okay, so based on this email ID only, our automation will decide whether the person already exists or not. Now moving further, here we have two cases in front of us. First case is whenever ID already exists, and second case is when ID does not exist. So basically we have two conditions, two routes. So that is why I'll be searching for router, which is again a very interesting feature of Pabbly Connect, via which you can apply multiple conditions. You can add multiple conditions in your automation, within your workflow. okay, so I have selected the same. Simply add the action event, that is this conditionally run. Alright, clicking on connect, and it will be connected immediately. Now here you can notice two default routes are already added here. So basically by clicking on this button, you can add as many as router step as you want and execute multiple conditions. okay, but currently we have two cases only. So how about I delete the extra router step. okay, so I have deleted the same, but before I do any setup here, firstly I'm going to rename these two steps. okay, so clicking on this three dot, clicking on this rename, and first of all I'm going to set the condition for already exist. okay, how about I write something like email ID already exist in CRM. okay, this is the name I have provided. Let me copy the same so that I can paste the exact thing here also, but in place of exist it is going to be does not exist. okay, does not exist. okay, so I think the name is looking good. All right, now finally clicking on the set filter and action step, and first of all we will have to define the condition. Yes, based on this conditions only, our automation will decide whether to execute this first router step or whether to execute the second router step. okay, in the select label you will again find the data, the responses of previous two steps. okay, so let me open the same, and first of all I'm going to search for the email address, that is this demo user@pabblytudes.com. okay, so if email address exists, in that case this particular step should be executed. But again, how my automation will decide whether to execute this step or not? So basically based on this condition, our automation will make the decision. If the condition is true for this case, it is going to execute our first router step, but if the condition is true for the second case, our automation will execute the second router step. okay, now in current case our condition has got satisfied, so that is why the condition is true, and that is why our first router step will be executed. So what should be the next step when our automation will execute the step? So it is going to simply update the contact, because the contact already exists. It is going to simply update the contact, for which I will again select Zoho CRM only. Alright, it is done. Now selecting the action event and searching for update our contact. Alright, this is the action event which I have selected, clicking on connect, and this time instead of going with the new connection, I'll go with the existing one, clicking on save, and in this way my Zoho CRM account will be immediately connected with the Pabbly Connect. Now I'm going to provide the details one by one. Okay, so here you can notice it is asking to provide the contact here. okay, whatever the contact you are updating, kindly select that contact. So as I have told you earlier, whatever the details you will select manually will remain same, so that is why I cannot select this contact from this drop down. Instead of that, I will have to map the contact ID, because mapping always help us in replacing the data automatically whenever our automation will work in real time. Okay, so first of all, I am going to toggle this button, and in this way mapping will be enabled. Here you can notice the existing ID. So let me remove this manual ID, and now finally I am going to map the ID. Remember, we have fetched the contact information, so I am going to search for the contact email ID from here only. Okay, give me a second, I'll show you everything. Okay, when you will scroll down, you will find the data 0 ID. Alright, here you can notice this data 0 ID. You will have to map the exact thing. In this way, what will happen, with every new form submission, a search will be made, and based on that search, this ID will be added here automatically, asking for the lead source. So you can select any. How about I go with this advertisement only, and finally it is asking for the first name, last name, email. Okay, so how about I again map the details from this drop down, and again it is up to you whether you want to add the data in all the fields or you want to provide the data only into the required fields. Okay, but I am going to add the details one by one. So let me search for the first name of the person. All right, it is mapped. Let me also search for the last name of the person. All right, I have mapped that also. Searching for the email address, and yes, it is the same email address, that is this demo user at pabblytudes.com. and remember, earlier we had this particular mobile number, that is this 900. So currently the person has provided us a different number, so I am going to update that mobile number. So clicking on this field, and let me search for the same mobile number, the recent mobile number provided via our form submitter. All right, this is the recent one, and this is the previous one, the existing one. So I have updated the new contact here, basically the new contact number, new phone number. How about I directly click on this button, save and send test request, and firstly waiting for the response to receive, fingers crossed. And here you can notice the response is received. It is saying success. Going back here, let me refresh the contact section of Zoho CRM and check for the contact, check for the data. So here you can notice now the phone number is updated, and if I will visit the contact section directly, you can also notice that no new contact is created here, only the existing contact has updated here with a new phone number. Okay, so in this way you can update the existing contact in Zoho CRM from Google Forms responses. Okay, so in this way the first router step is successfully working, successfully done. Now let me close this first step, and now we are going to set up this second router step. Okay, so clicking on this button, and once again firstly we are going to set the condition, and this time instead of exist we will go with this does not exist, and make sure this email ID is already selected. Clicking on this button, and here you will notice this time the condition will be false. Okay, because the ID for which we are checking this condition already exists. Remember, we have searched for this ID, and yes, this ID already exists. Okay, so let me open this once again, and currently we have the condition as false, but I'm going to consider that the condition is true, and whenever this condition is true, of course our second router step will be executed. So whenever it will be executed, what should be the next step? So basically it is going to simply add a new contact in Zoho CRM, because this person does not exist already. Okay, so I'll be searching for the Zoho CRM once again here. All right, in the action event I'll simply go with the contact, searching for the same, and here we have this create contact action event. Clicking on connect, and once again I'll go with the existing connection only. Clicking on save, and once again my Zoho CRM account will be connected with Pabbly Connect. Okay, and once again it is asking for the lead source, and again it is up to you what lead source you want to select, asking for the first name, last name, and lot of details. So let me provide the details one by one again from the above data only. So searching for the name of the person which was demo, searching for the last name of the person which was user only. Well, you must be thinking that why I am adding the data of the same person who is already exist, because currently I have this data only. But as I have told you, mapping will replace these details automatically when our automation will work in real time. Okay, so technically what is going to happen here, when the person will submit our new form, it is going to check the condition, and based on that condition our router step will be executed. And currently I am considering that this step is getting executed. In such cases the details should be added here. So that is why I'm mapping the same data, asking for the title, department, while I'm leaving all the fields blank excepting this phone number. Okay, so let me again search for the phone number. Alright, so I have added the same. Now here you will see an interesting thing. When I'll click on this button, you will notice the response is positive. You must be thinking that because our condition was false and because this person was already exist, in such cases this should not show the success and contact should not be created here. But still you will notice that the same person will be created here once again. Okay, so don't get confused. It will happen whenever you will execute the router step in the first time. Yes, whenever you will execute the router step with the false condition, then also your step will be executed. But don't worry about that. Absolutely don't worry. When our automation will work in real time, it is not going to recreate the existing contact. Our automation will work absolutely fine. Let me even show you how this will work in real time. Okay, so my automation is already created here, so I can even close Pabbly Connect now. But before that, how about I close only the landing page, because we are also going to summarize this whole automation. So I'm not closing this window, but let me first open this form in front of you and we'll make some dummy details once again. Okay, so this time as a first name I will add the person something like demo customer. Okay, this time we have the first name as demo customer. The email address will also be demo customer, and let's also add some number to differentiate. Okay, pabblytudes.com. Okay, let me correct the email ID, asking for the phone number. This time I will add the number with this 9333 value. Okay, alright, it is looking good. Place you would like to travel is Shimla Manali. Clicking on the submit button and waiting for the response to receive here. Remember, we have added the email address, a completely new email address, so I'm really expecting that the same person will be created here. Alright, I'll have to refresh it once again. Give me a second. While the new person has not created yet, I have refreshed this 2 to 3 times. Okay, so I think I should cross check my automation. Alright, so the data has got captured here. How about I cross check the second router condition, because according my use case, according to the email ID, this step should be executed. I think the problem is in the condition here only. Okay, so this is filtered by Pabbly, and let me cross check the email address. Alright, so by mistaken I have mapped the email address from this Google form step response. I think I should have mapped the email address from here. Okay, so let me search for that email address once again, and this time I am going to map this data 0 email ID. Clicking on this button, save and send test request. Alright, waiting for the response, and you will notice that the condition will be false this time, because we had the email address as this, which was actually exist while we were creating this automation. Okay, so closing it, and I'm going to submit this form once again. Okay, give me a second, and let's fill this form with the same details. Again, demo is going to be the name, customer is going to be the last name, email address will be demo customer 123@pabblytudes.com. Alright, and the phone number here will be +91 and this 93333 and this 33333. Okay, let me also select the place to travel, that is Shimla Manali. Clicking on the submit button, and now I am going to refresh my CRM software once again. And did you notice this time the person has been created as a new user here? It is the same name, that is this demo customer. and we also have the same phone number and even the same contact name. Okay, so that means the second router step is working absolutely fine. Now I'm going to submit this form once again, but this time I'm going to provide the email address which is already exist. Okay, so how about I provide this email address only, that is this democustomer123@pabblytudes.com. Okay, give me a second. So I have filled my Google form with the same first name, same last name, same email address. The only difference here is of phone number. So I am expecting that this time a new contact will not be created, but the existing one will be updated automatically. Okay, so I have already refreshed here. All right, opening this particular email, that is demo customer, opening this particular contact, and did you notice a new contact has not been created, but the existing contact has been updated here automatically. Okay, so in this way our automation is working absolutely fine. So now onwards what will happen, every time you are getting new data from Google form or from any other place, firstly our automation will search that contact. If that ID is received here, it is going to check these two conditions. If ID exists, it is going to update the contact. If ID does not exist, it is going to create a new contact. Okay, so in this way you can also automate this process. And do you know, you just need to create this automation workflow inside Pabbly Connect once. After that you can sit back and relax, and Pabbly Connect will take care of all the tasks in the backend. You do not have to do anything manually. You can even close Pabbly Connect now, because everything will work in the backend. And just in case if you want to access this 3 to 4 step automation inside your Pabbly Connect account, I will also attach the link of my automation workflow into the description box. So click on this link, sign up for free into the Pabbly Connect, and then you will be able to access the same automation workflow inside your own Pabbly Connect account, that too for free. Not just these applications, you can integrate multiple applications and automate your business with Pabbly Connect. You can ask your queries at forum.pabbly.com. My team will surely answer to your questions. This is the website of Pabbly Connect, and for the latest updates of Pabbly Connect and unique automation ideas, you can join our Facebook group, that is formget.deals. If you have found this video helpful in any way, share it with your friends and colleagues, and also help them to automate their business. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video.